coming back in, and I see we have, looks like we got more people than we had before. Remember that after these eight speakers, we'll have another discussion time, so you have an opportunity. And please also, there are a couple of really nice posters for some research out there. I only got a chance to see one of them. Shelley Feist has one out here, and what's the other? Are there a couple? Oh, Mike, where's Mike? Yeah, Mike Canito also has one too from the Department of Communicative Disorders. Sorry, I never got over there, but so make sure you take a look at those too, and we'll have another 35 minutes at the end. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks and welcome back. Once again, this is wonderful. I'm having my mind blown, and I hope you are too at these wonderful presentations. I want to thank once again the Vice President for Research's Office. Our first presentation for this second session is by Dr. David Bellar. He's going to give a talk called Aging, Endocrine Markers, Fitness, and Cognitive Function.
Everyone hear me? Well, good afternoon, everyone. So I'm going to talk a little about some of the work we've done around fitness, aging, some biomarkers, and cognitive function that's been we've been working on for a number of years. But first, to frame the problem, the reason why we want to study this, we have an increasing percentage and also number of people in our population that are going to be classified as elderly above the age of 65. And we know that if that increases, we deal with some of the problems in our population that are surrounding aging, and some of them are cognitive. And so we can see here there are a couple areas, and again, it's not all areas, we can see some down here that are not affected, but there are a number of cognitive areas where we see some age effect, and so it's something definitely worthwhile to study, especially when we look at the census data for the United States moving forward. And so how does exercise fit into this? Well, we know that exercise interfaces with a lot of areas of health. We heard Dr. McDermott talk about that. But we also know that it impacts dementia-free living in old age. So we can see here, these are just two quick traces. One, people exercising less than 3 days a week, and 1 3 days or more. And we can see that there's definitely effect there, especially when we get beyond the age of 75, where exercise seems to be providing some sort of protective benefits. And so we looked at the exercise. We were also interested in some biomarkers that we know are modified by exercise. So one that we wanted to look at in our first round of studies was BDNF, or brain-derived neurotrophic factor. We know that, as we can see here, there's increased mRNA expression and also increased protein expression for BDNF as we go from control to 3 to 7 days of exercise. And also we see some increases in mRNA expression as people exercise for longer distances. And then we also wanted to look at IGF-1, which we know is increased during exercise, and also has some protective effects against atherosclerotic development. It interfaces with endothelial function, inflammation, and ultimately has some protective benefits when we look at the damaging effects of oxidative stress. And in particular, the segment of dementia that we were interested in focusing on was this little blip right here, which deals with vascular dementia, or those dementias related to vascular problems in the brain. Our primary one here is Alzheimer's disease, which you see as the main bar, but we're more interested in vascular dementia, which we think is more likely to be something that we can modify through increased physical activity, increased exercise. So our first round of studies that we did looked at serum insulin-like growth factor 1, and we did a battery of tests, and I obviously don't have time to go into what all these means, but we looked at working memory, we looked at executive function, we looked at tests of recall, and what we found was that we had a number of positive findings associated with serum insulin-like growth factor 1 in older adults, and better cognitive functioning in multiple domains. So that got us very excited. We knew that we were kind of on a good track. And so we wanted to kind of take this further and use these same populations to look then at exercise. And so this is our one of our tests of executive function. Here we see the distance that an older adult can walk in 6 minutes. Up top here we have one of our functional tests for older adults, which is the 8-foot up and go test, where you have to get out of a chair and ambulate around an object 8 feet away. And we see some associations here again with better markers of fitness and physical capacity relating to better executive function. And just to note, these are the World Health Organization recommendations for exercise for those above 65 and those 60 to 64. And we notice they're not very much different than what we recommend for healthy adults younger than that. 150 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity and 75 minutes of vigorous intensity. Furthering up on that other biomarker I mentioned earlier, BDNF, we also saw some fairly robust relationships with our tests of working memory and our tests of executive function with that marker as well from the same study. And so moving on to work that we actually just recently wrapped up not too long ago here, we wanted to see whether we could expand some of this to salivary analysis just because it's a little bit easier, it's minimally invasive. So we did a study with an older adults diabetic walking group around this area. We can see again that even within this one sample here, we have some pretty visible relationships between the age of the individual and the time it takes them to accomplish some tests of executive function and psychomotor function. In this study, all we really revealed is we had one biomarker, salivary DHEA, dihydroandrosterone, that was related to psychomotor function. But it talks to the capacities of our lab and things that we're interested in collaborating with other people with, salivary biomarkers, serum biomarkers, and fitness. And so I'd like to thank my collaborators, and I'm out of time. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bellar.